Here's the Deep and Hawk Follies for Friday night. It's the first time I've been out in the shop for a few months. And I only have a couple hours to spend out here, so what I've been trying to do is try and figure out how to get this trunk lid thing settled down. The trunk lid on this was held down with 4 hood pins, and all the support was gone from the backside, so it was just a big floppy piece of sheet metal. It was literally like a noodle that nobody could. It took 2 people to take it on and put it off, and when you're at the racetrack and you go to take it off, where are you going to put it? So what I did was took a set of stock trunk lid hinges and mounted them inboard, so they mounted to the roll bar down tube, which is fine, and I lightened them up with some holes and all that stuff. But putting them there meant that I had to figure out a bunch of weird supports for the trunk itself to try and stiffen it up, and I tried making all sorts of sheet metal supports and all that. Didn't like any of it. But one of the good guys on the SDC forum was trying to save a 64 GT Hawk trunk lid with his bottom edge rotted off because it's a rare lid, and I was looking for a 53 steel trunk lid because it's a steel car and I wanted to keep it steel. And then I decided, hey, I've got a GT Hawk and a 61 Hawk and a junk trunk lid here, that maybe what I ought to do is sacrifice one of the trunk lids. So what I did was took the Hawk trunk lid that had the bottom edge completely rotted off of it, and I took and de-skinned it and saved the interior piece, laid it on the 53 skin, and it fits perfect. Now, rather than do the unfold the whole lip thing and do all that, which would really be a lot of body work, I just trimmed this so that it fits right inside the other one, and I've got it all trimmed all the way around. What I'll do is I'll clamp it and just kind of do a little tack weld all the way around on it, and go ahead and put that back on. What is fascinating to me is all the holes line up. Everything from 1953 lines up to 61, 62. The thing is perfect. Now, I'm going to take my Greenlee punch and a hole saw and put a bunch more holes in it to take some weight out of it. But the other thing I was thinking about doing was cutting out the hood corner, or the trunk lid corners where the original hinge was. But I'm kind of backing off that right now. I might put a couple of holes in it to lighten it, but I'm going to leave it there for stiffness because it does leave a lot of strength to it. Now, looking at the hinges themselves, made a little template to what sits on the hinge to say, okay, this is about where this would sit with a little bend in it. I'm going to make a steel plate, make a couple of them, that has this little bend in it. And you can see where I put this piece on and mark the holes where the hinge holes are. I'm going to weld a couple of 5/16 bolts onto the backside, sticking out so I've got studs. And I will weld this to the skin here, weld it down here and weld it up here like that, and I have 4 studs sticking out. It'll have the correct bend on it, so the hinge will hook right on it. It'll go right on the middle, 5 inches in the center, and that will work good so I can open and close the hood. Haven't figured out the latch in the back. I won't be using the stock Studebaker latch. What I'll probably be doing is just have a couple of rubber Jeep hood things holding it down, so the trunk will be held down there. So that's my Friday Night Follies. Nothing complicated, nothing terribly crude, but trying to make this so I don't have to use a rare 53 trunk lid, and I don't want to spend the $400 for a fiberglass one. I'd rather keep this thing all steel, and even if it is kind of butchered up steel, it'll at least fit the karma of the car. So talk to you later. We'll see what we can do. Maybe I'll show some pictures after I weld on it. Thanks. Bye.